On this episode of Salt and Siren, after only a few days home from Texas, we get in the car again. This time going north, and at least this time I'm not alone, right? Alright, so basically the Bertram didn't work out. It's just way too much work.
A little rougher than what it was represented, I guess. I guess you had to kind of read between the lines to understand that it was basically had mold in it.
And then now that just adds all this money, to the mix, aside from having to pull out all the marine plywood. I mean, it was just way too much after all was said and done.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mind. We're actually looking for maybe, something to do it our way. But the projects we're thinking about are, redoing the flooring, remodeling your house.
We are Chicago bound. We are going to be looking at a smaller boat, and it is a Chris Craft Commander, and we're racing to, get up there and get back. So we'll let you know how it goes. Lucky for us, we met our seller and he drove us over to his beautiful 1968 Chris Craft Commander. And it was a rainy day. We're taking it as a good omen, I think. But I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a tour and you guys can tell us what you think. So there's the exterior, and inside, this is the salon area. And we'll swing around here, and then this is the forward berth, a little bit different than the last one we looked at. And this is the main stateroom, and over here to the left is the bathroom head. So there you go. It's a really beautiful boat. It's been really well maintained, and we were actually pretty impressed with it. Now, obviously, since she's 1968, right, born in 1968, she does have a few things that we're going to have to tend to. So some leaky windows and what have you. But we knew that, and she's an old boat. We know that just comes with the territory when you're buying an older vessel. But we really were impressed. But we decided to head home and give it a talk before we started making any commitments. And where else do you go to make a big decision like this than the Indy 500? Of course. We decided that the Chris Craft was worth exploring a little deeper, and so we decided to get in the car again and drive the 3 hours north to Chicago and do a little more investigating with doing a sea trial and surveying it and what have you. So it was a beautiful day, and lucky for us, the owner and his family so sweetly took us on a nice long cruise over to see the Chicago skyline from the water, which we had never done before. It was really a unique perspective considering we've spent a lot of time in that city. And so it was really nice. Todd got to do a little test driving, and pretty day. So we're very grateful.
It's always got to be on you. Look at you, like all shiny and nice.
He says, "Why is it always got to be over there?" I said, "Because that's where my arm is." I don't know. God.
I would say you could reach around me, but that doesn't sound very good.
Guess where we are? We're in the car again.
I mean, the funny thing is, you guys are just seeing the end of a lot of the journey. There's been a lot of journey.
We are Chicago bound, and
got a buttload of cash.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go buy a boat. Yeah. It's about as simple as it gets.
It's happening.
We'll explain the process of how that all came to be when it's a little more quiet, but we thought we'd at least start off and let you know that we are on the way, and
it's a beautiful a day out.
Yeah.
Good day to buy a boat.
Good day to buy a boat. So after another walkthrough with the owner and just getting more familiar with the vessel itself, and of course exchanging funds, we had ourselves a 1968 Chris Craft Commander, and we're really happy with the purchase and are excited to get going on the work. But I'll also show you a little bit around the harbor. Sorry, this was taken from my Instagram feed, but that gives you a little idea of what the marina that we will be in Chicago, at least for the summer. Okay, so the other part of this, which this is the only time I have him, is he's awake because he's about to go to bed.
Barely awake.
So in order to do financing for the boat, which we know is not a very popular way of purchasing a boat, we know, we've heard it a million times, pay cash, pay cash, pay cash. Our thought is that we want to finance it while we're in our earning potential, meaning we're making our most money now. Cash will be king when we're, having to deal with maintenance and getting fuel and
island, right?
Many people will probably know, if they've ever tried to get a marine loan, it's nearly impossible to get for a boat that's older than 15 years.
Right.
Ours is a 1968, well over that mark.
It's between the year, regardless of the shape of the boat, really.
They don't care.
From our experience, people say the survey makes a difference, but I've found out that once they know the year, they've already got you categorized in a certain, risk.
So we decided, okay, well, what other way could we do this? And so we started looking through the route of a personal loan. He's in much better shape credit-wise, so he was going to purchase the boat. Credit score was 760. We had very little debt, obviously no home loan because we had sold the house last year, and that's, again, part of the problem, because his credit score, actually, when we sold the house, his credit score dropped below 800. Because that makes a lot of fucking sense. Sorry, my language. But it's that irritating.
Well, it's just, you actually, it's almost misleading, I think, in that it's categorized as a credit score. It's not even a risk score. It's like kind of where you stand.
Relationships a debt score.
Yeah. So I pay off a loan and I lose credit, my score goes down, which doesn't make any sense.
And they ran all of their stuff. We could only get, a portion of the loan. And we're like, well, why? And they're like, well, because you only have 10 years of credit history.
47-year-old man, I've had 3 houses, I've had 20 cars. What are you talking about? So apparently what happens is you fulfill your loans, and after 10 years, it falls off your credit report completely. So there's no record that you ever fulfilled your financial obligations. So since I had taken a credit card out, or I had refinanced the house, all that stuff had all taken place, and I was actually paying stuff off, they said, well, we don't have any record of that. And we contacted the TransUnion people, and they were like, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we see you have credit history back to 1990, but it doesn't report.
So we couldn't get the loan.
We couldn't get the loan.
And that's why we wanted to share that with the rest of you, because
so really pay attention. I would,
make sure you're just having a relationship with your debt, because
got an open credit card.
Paying off debt is not what gets you a boat or gets you a loan. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're buying a boat, whether you're getting another car.
So we took the loan for what they would let us take it for, and then we found 2 other means to come up with the remainder of the money. So we're all good on the loan. I understand better when people don't buy a boat, because they're like, I don't have this much cash saved up, and I can't borrow it. So I understand why it's a dream crusher right off the bat.
Yeah. So we feel you guys. So hopefully that gives you some ammunition to prepare for any of you who are looking to do it that way as well.
So stay in debt.
Stay in debt. Stay in the system.
They won't let you out of the matrix.
Next time on Salt and Siren, we're going to take you on board and show you what our first weekend on the boat looked like. And, Todd got a little nutty. Thanks so much for watching. We are so glad that you either found us or came back, and we hope that you subscribe to find out what's next. See you next time.